Hello beautiful people, Amanda here again, this time with a spell for Autumn Equinox. Today I wanted to bring you my cleansing and energizing your home spell, and this is a simple spell that only uses a few tools, but I know you will get really great results with, because our Autumn Equinox is coming up in about a week's time now here in Australia, and this is the ideal time where we have a look at what is balanced in our life, because of course at equinox day and night are equal, but we also tend to get called to do a lot of decluttering, a lot of actual physical cleaning, and also cleansing and revitalizing of our space. So this is the spell that went out in our Sabbat boxes that we did, an Autumn Equinox box. And if you received our box, you will have gotten your own smudge bundle, and this smudge bundle has been created with white sage, rosemary, lavender, and also rose petals. Now you can use whatever cleansing herbs you're feeling called to, and you can also use a charcoal disc and just the loose herbs over the top if you prefer. We've used these particular herbs because the white sage and the rosemary are especially good at really doing some deep cleansing, clearing away lots of negative energy. Your lavender is especially good at clearing emotional baggage, emotional stuff that needs to be shifted. And of course, your rose petals help to put lots of love into a space as well. Plus, of course, all of them really helping to raise the vibration in your space too. So that's a really great combination, and I'm sure you will love the smell of those herbs as well. It's a beautiful combo on a scent level also. Now you'll also need a little mini broom or a besom as well for this spell, for us to do some of that activation of energies too. And I do recommend probably a little heat-proof bowl is ideal when you are doing your smoke cleanse of your house, whether you're using the smudge stick or you're using a charcoal disc. So I like to use like a little ceramic bowl, and you can put some sand in the bottom of that, which is ideal to snuff out any smudge bundles, or you can actually burn your charcoal disc directly on the sand. Of course, you can also use a cauldron too. Totally up to you what you're feeling more comfortable with, or perhaps have on hand as well. Some people also like to have a feather as well to move the smoke where they want it also. But that is essentially all the tools we're really going to need to be able to do this spell. Now I do have a separate video where I cover off on how to smudge and giving you lots of tips and ideas to do how to do a really good smudge of your home, so you can see that separate video. If you received our Sabbat box, you will have had an extra page of information, of hints and tips in the best way to be able to cleanse your space as well, should you need some added guidance. So of course we're going to get organized. We're going to assemble everything to do our spell. We're going to get our smudge bundle or our charcoal and our herbs all lit up. We're going to center ourselves, and then I have a beautiful invocation that we can use. Here do I call on my own guides and angels, plus Archangel Michael, to aid me in this house cleansing. Walk with me as I navigate my home. Dissolve and clear away any negativity, density, low vibrations, and non-benevolent beings. Take over to the light any lost or confused souls that may be here, and move on anything not aligned with my highest divine self. Blessed be. So then once you've done your invocation, take a moment to feel those energies you've just invited in to be with you before you begin walking the house and doing your full cleanse of the house. Really don't just do one room, you really want to do the whole space. That's the only way that it is really properly effective, is to do the whole house, the whole space. Then once you've finished doing your smoke cleanse, you want to extinguish your smudge bundle, or put your heat-proof bowl somewhere safe that your charcoal disc can just simply finish burning out, because they take about 40 minutes to an hour depending on the charcoal disc. So put it somewhere safe where it can just kind of burn itself out. Then we're going to move to the next stage of our spell, which is where we're going to use our besom. Now Our besoms or brooms have the properties for protection and also for cleansing. So we tend to use the cleansing side of a besom is through the movement, use of a broom, versus the protective side is usually when we have it hung somewhere to help add protective energy. So once your spell's complete, you might want to hang your besom somewhere to have that added protection. Traditionally, it's around a front or a back door, or maybe by a window. It could be over the bed, whatever kind of calls to you and suits you if you're feeling drawn to add it in that way. But today we're going to really activate the space more than use it for cleansing. And we activate the space through movement. Now we really want to get a nice wrist movement going on, and we're going to be moving right the way through the whole of our space once again. We want a nice wrist movement. So as you can see, I've got a good rolling wrist, and we're kind of doing this nice round upward kind of movement as we're going. You're essentially going to be fluttering along throughout the whole of the house, moving around things. Now we're not trying to dust anything. We're not actually physically touching anything. Although I do want you to really go intuitively with this. So if you're feeling called that you do need to physically touch and move, do some movement in some way, do follow that intuitive guidance. But we're more kind of fluttering just above rather than actually physically touching anything. And so we're going to kind of move along furniture, move around, like the corners of the rooms. I often tend to kind of start at the bottom and go up because we're activating and uplifting the spaces. You might want to go up and around windows. Sometimes I do, particularly around windows and doors, you might kind of do your movement, but perhaps in the shape of a particular symbol, so like a protective symbol or a creative symbol, some other symbol that makes sense to you for that particular room or space. But you can kind of do your little movement and flutter across the couch and the dining table and your bed and all the different spaces in your home. You don't have to go over absolutely every square inch. It's just kind of taking that energy, activating spaces, particularly focus on anywhere that maybe has been feeling a bit slow, sluggish, sleepy, causing people to really want to, sleep and maybe get a bit depressed or not feel themselves. Really focus on getting into that space and uplifting and activating the energy in those spaces, because that'll really shift and move that energy out of that space, and people will feel more uplifted and positive in those spaces after you've done your activation. So once you've picked up your broom, we have an invocation for that. I offer my gratitude to my home. You are my sanctuary, which allows me to be safe and nurtured as I grow in love and wisdom. May my home and body, mind and soul be cleansed and uplifted. I invite in the divine energies of inspiration, love, creativity, healing, abundance, joy, and intuition. Charge my broom with your blessings and magic as I move through my home. May my broom invigorate each space and fill every nook and cranny with these requested divine energies. So mote it be. So now you will move through your space and doing exactly as I've just explained, kind of doing your little activation movement, moving everywhere that you're feeling called, really activating all the different areas in the space. Once you've done a room, it's an added optional bonus. You could actually light a candle in the room to kind of signify this room has been awakened, this room has been, relit almost. So just like maybe a little tea light in a tea light holder or something like that to signify that, or even in some of the main rooms you might like to do that, or it's not necessary, you don't have to do it, it's just an added bonus that you could do. And then once you've been right throughout the whole space and you feel really good, like you've really cleansed and activated every part of your home, the final blessing to say is, may all the positive vibrations of the universe flow peace through my mind and love through my veins. May this home be an extension of me, also filled with peace and love. Blessed be. And then to just finalize everything, you want to open up your doors and windows, allowing in light, allowing in air, which just is what I always do to finish a cleanse. It really finalizes it. And light and air always helps to also cleanse and uplift a space. So it's just like that final step that really finishes what you've just done, and is also especially helpful if you have anyone in your home that doesn't tend to like the smell of the smudge and the herbs that you've been burning. It'll help to also clear some of that out of your home for them to be able to come back in when you're finished too. So I really want to send out lots of love and blessings for the autumn equinox. I really hope you enjoy doing your spell, that you enjoy cleansing and activating your home. I hope you have a lovely celebration, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.